Good afternoon, Gary. Welcome back to this week's AmEveryGolfer podcast. I almost forgot where I was.
You've got salsa on your mind, don't you?
I'm salsa out, man. Absolutely. And we have a guest this week. And Gary, I'll let you do
that is 2 in a row I've managed to provide. So everybody, this is Andrew McIntyre, who's the general manager at Hilton Park. Well, welcome on board, Andrew. Thanks for coming eventually.
Yes, got there eventually. Yeah.
How was your drive in? It was a bit traumatic for you with traffic.
Terrible. We'll skip over that. Yeah.
Which in the bank holiday is a bit of a contradiction, isn't it?
Well, everybody should be on golf courses now, but it's been passing down, so you kind of get
funny enough, that was one of the questions I was going to actually ask Andrew. Is from the golf management point of view, how has the weather what sort of impact has it had on not just you, but the revenue of the club and obviously the members and it's probably obviously how they're feeling about the whole golf course as well. I mean, how has that impacted things?
Yeah. To be honest, probably no great secret. If the weather's good, we're busy.
Yeah.
If the weather's poor, we're quiet. We cover it later on, but it's one of the reasons that we put an indoor golf studio in.
Right, okay.
It's because we realise inland golf in the west coast of Scotland, it's just such a short season.
It's quite good.
Stop that. I think I want to dig into that, to be honest. Are you getting abuse? Are you getting members who are saying what the hell is going on because they can't go and play golf?
I mean, I can control a few things, but I can't control the weather. So
that you dodged that quite well. But are you getting abuse?
No, I think people just get itchy feet. You typically find Masters is the start of the golf season, right?
100%.
Everybody digs the clubs
100%.
out. And for a wee false start, the weather was good. It's kind of going back the way, and members are getting itchy feet. But it's been so wet, especially in the west, as I say.
Garbage.
And
you're a Partland course anyway, so I've played the course a few times anyway. But you do drain really, really well. Yeah. But it must be wet.
It's wet.
Got to be wet.
Yeah. I mean, speaking to greenkeeper today, we're looking at doing a little bit of aeration in the greens already.
Wow.
Just to try and get some of the water away, yeah. Just over the weekend there was a huge amount fell. So
are you going to, does that mean scarifying or are you going to do pencil time?
Yeah, just little spikes.
Definitely no hollow pencil time.
No, just little spikes.
Way too early for pencil.
Yeah.
So we'll jump in your TrackMan studio. I thought that was tremendous.
Yeah, you like it?
And I loved it. I didn't like the fact you threw me a wedge when I was there to visit you and you had it right in front of you, right in front of the committee. Here, Gary, there's a wedge going to hit a shot. We will talk about those two shots. So one at the back of the green, second one by the pin, but a spin back to the pin, didn't it?
Spun like a washing machine.
It was a cracker.
What was it?
It was a wee bit toey, but then he said,
"What was the BDC? Did I see it? I didn't. I said that.
So we had the Mike Malone on for TrackMan. I've known Mike for 2016 or 17, and it amazed us that what his ethos was about TrackMan, wasn't it? It wasn't about every single bit of data you can get. It was about it being an entertainment side of it. Do you agree with that, or are you?
Yeah. Do you know, you get your members that are really into it and they love the numbers and they'll totally eat out on all the data that you can get. But we try and keep it really simple and just give the members a facility. Let them go and have a bit of fun. See for the kids as well.
Burger and a pint.
Get yourself.
Is your pro getting lessons from it?
Yeah. Guys have been able to. So again, we're talking about the weather. The guys have been able to keep the coaching going throughout the.
So he'll be quite happy with chasing some revenue in there.
Quite happy.
See, that's I think that's where Mike seemed to think that the future of TrackMan was. It wasn't really in the sort of real golf data nerdy stuff. It was more in the kind of the entertainment side. It becoming a kind of social thing that people were coming to play, not to play golf, but to go and get involved in some sort of overall sort of experience. Which and that seems to be obviously we had with Alison, obviously from Golf It. And again, Alison's
points were really good as well. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not interrupting you. He's famous for moaning that I interrupt, but I don't just speak.
No, I don't moan. I just take
if things come to the front of my head, if I don't get them out, I sit here and I'm.
Is that because it just rattles about it?
I just bounce about like a crashing car. She made a great point, and you can back her up or no if you've got a different perspective of it. She said that, and Mike said the same thing, and Alison touched on it, was that Mike sees the more entertainment side of it, and they are more interested in the 9-hole side of it and having an entertainment facility because golf was going that way. And obviously, don't have anymore, a bugbear about live golf, and that was Liv's thing, wasn't it? Liv's thing. That was Liv had this like concert on before the golf, and obviously, I'm for a generation where you were quiet before you had a golf ball. That's like, the birds couldn't even fart. Do you know what I mean? But now you've got Bon Jovi playing in the background and the guys are banging off the tee. So do you think golf will go that way? That I think every club should have a TrackMan. and or
Bon Jovi.
I'll take Bon Jovi. I seen him washing the dishes in LinkedIn. But anyway, so would you agree with that? Would you agree with the course needs to provide that side of it?
Yeah, I think I'm a big believer. It's not 1970 anymore. We need to get with the picture right, and especially for the kids.
Yeah,
get them in the studio. It's good fun. My wee girl, she's nearly 8. We've had her in a couple of times. She loves it. Dinosaur golf, all this kind of thing. It's just amazing. And the reality is as well for guys, guys and girls now, they work so much. They've got so many commitments out with golf. 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday morning. They don't have that. Nip into the studio, an hour and a half in there, a couple of hours in there. It's just perfect. Keeps the swing going.
So are you booked out for an hour at a time or an hour and a half at a time, or whatever the client's looking for?
Yeah, we do it in hour slots. We usually find most members will take it for a couple of hours.
Are they playing rounds, or are they playing nearest to pin and longest drives?
No, they're going to play. So they're going to play St Andrews and Pebble Beach and all that kind of thing, and it's just all about having fun.
Adair Manor is on it.
Is it?
Adair Manor is on it.
We need to try that in.
I played it up at Loch Goylehead. What's it? Drumsiny Estate. They've got it, and I did phone Mike after, and I said, "That track man's a mile out." He's like, I said, "Man, my drive 245." He's like, "You're probably there at 245." And he put the phone down on me.
And you do?
Like, no, I don't want it 245. So, see that you said there about some guys are into their stats and their numbers. Like, I'm not really that much into it, but I have a vested interest. I don't mind launch angle and smash factor. I don't mind that. Well, how close I know, and it's not because I'm a low handicapper before you chuck it in there. I kind of know in the club face, like you will. And I've played with you a few times. You're like, I'm not that good, but you're like, that's a toe, or that's a bit heely, or is that lower handicappers, or everybody you think's in that, or is it just people's personality that makes them data driven?
Personality, 100%. We've got guys ranging from scratch golfers up to mid-20s that just love the data. They'll go in there and they'll have the screen. You can split it into 4 areas, and they'll really they'll get the report emailed to them, and they'll go home and read it and all that. They're just, and actually to a point.
Is that what you get? You get a report emailed to you?
Yeah, it's amazing.
That is class, isn't
Pretty
it?
good, isn't it?
But paralysis by analysis, I've always said that, keep it simple.
I know.
3 or 4 little numbers on there just to work on.
And that's what Mike and Alison both said. They both said, like you've just said, that's a great analogy, paralysis by analysis.
I'm going to copyright that one.
I wrote it down already for your beat.
We'll get Tigerism already trademarked.
And bounce back ability.
Bounce back ability.
that was soccer, to be fair. Mike said the same thing. He said that do not get wrapped up. Yeah. He said the thing that most people are looking for. For me, as a relatively low handicapper, I'm looking at dispersion rather than how far I'm hitting it. Yeah.
But that goes against everything that obviously the guys we've spoken to, Alison. And
do you know James Revel? James Revel, PGA down south. Well, you won't know him, but he's on kind of Instagram and stuff. He said that 90% of his lessons, the very first thing people say to him is, "I want 20 yards." Does your pro feel that? When you talk, did you hear that?
Yeah, it's all about distance. Everybody wants to. I think they just watch golf on the telly and see how far these guys hit it. We've had a few. The simulator's not been in our club long, but we've had a few members that have come out and said that thing's not working right. It's saying my 7-iron's only going 120. I hit my 7-iron 160.
Yeah. Do you really? Yeah. Okay. Liar, pants and fire. Yeah. Well, we've spoken about this a couple of times. We know a few folk who are absolutely obsessed by distance. Unlike Roddy, who is just obsessed by hitting fairways, and he's broke his back again.
He has again.
And they're the same thing. And we know a couple of guys who just stand at the tee and smash the life out of a golf ball, and it might be 40 yards left.
Yep.
And they'll stand and pose till that ball has gone behind the trees and say, "I hit that so well." Yeah. Do you think TrackMan will make that different or make it worse? Because if they're so obsessed with gaining 20 yards and you're in a studio and you're not going to lose a golf ball, that goes behind the curtain, they are smashing the living life out of that. Yeah. I don't know about that.
I don't think they care because, as you say, it's in such a sort of controlled environment that it doesn't matter. They're not losing the ball. And there's nothing, okay, it's going left. They don't care because there's nothing to give them any sort of reality check on it.
I love the TrackMan.
If all of a sudden you get a wee debit off your phone, there's £5 off your phone, you're like, that's £5 off my bank. What happened there? Oh, you just lost a Pro V1. All right, wait a minute.
That's very good, actually.
This is getting a bit serious now, you know. But there's no reality check. Okay.
That was Andrew getting buying his car. That was on his You used to have the RS5, didn't you? At Mar Hall.
S5.
That's when you knew he was in.
Yeah.
He had, Andrew's here.
How's Andrew? He's late again.
So, did you start at Runfurley Castle?
I did.
And then am I right? I've not looked at him. I'm trying to remember the conversations we had. Ran for the Castle, the Carrick.
Correct.
Then you became head of golf for the Carrick. You were pro, didn't you?
I was
then you were teaching pro
down there. Teaching pro at the Carrick.
And then you become Mar Hall after that.
Yeah, so I was only at the Carrick for a year.
And then ran Furley again.
Yep.
And was Ran Furley your first pitch into general managership?
It was.
Lovely golf club.
Good.
I think I visited you a few times in Ran Furley.
You did.
Rubbish tea.
What was it?
No, good tea.
Oh, right, okay.
He didn't buy it.
Oh, right, okay. Do you have to buy it yourself?
Hi.
You?
Me.
Did you actually dip into your purse?
Expensive.
Because it's not a wallet you've got, it's a purse. You know.
So, how are you enjoying being a general manager?
It's good. Love it. Really, really good. Kind of ended up in that role, not quite by accident, but it was never what I had in mind when I kind of started my journey in the golf career.
Did you want to play or did you want to be a teaching pro?
I always wanted to coach. Yeah. So, listen, I had ambitions of playing. Everybody does, right? But quickly realised that, I was never ever good enough.
It's not good fun. You go against guys that beat the life out of you, is it?
No. And quickly realised I needed to make a living. So, loved coaching. As I say, started down at the Carrick. That was a full-time coaching role, which was amazing. Absolutely loved it. But I think you need to be a certain type of person to stand on a driving range for 40 hours a week every week. And
listen to us normal golfers spouting crap about how good we're at golf, and you're going, no, really.
The one that always used to get me was, I'm working on 2 swings. Can I just show you? Right, go on. This is my old swing. Right, okay, yeah. And this is my new swing. It's completely different. You're like, no, it's the same thing.
All you're doing is hitting it harder. That's it.
Yeah. Just you go with whatever feels the best, big man. There you go.
I want 20 yards. That's what it'll be.
It's like Alison said last week. She goes, the guys will come up to her and say, yeah, I think it's my grip. And she'll be like, no, it's nothing to do with your grip. It's everything else bar your grip. Your grip's actually all right.
Do you find TrackMan and also YouTube has had a huge impact on people thinking they know exactly how a golf swing? And do you think that's a wee bit detriment to a pro?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Every PGA pro I've asked has said the same thing. They've went, do you know what? Aye.
Again, listen, it's great that you've got YouTube and a lot of knowledge out there that you can tap into, right? But it's all individual, and you can't just take that piece of information and think it's generic to everybody.
And that's the thing with golf, it is such an individual thing. We talked about different swings, and even going back to obviously Masevi, we talked about Eamon Darcy. Like,
how do you teach that?
How do you teach somebody to actually hit a golf ball?
Jim Furyk.
Eamon Darcy, Jim Furyk,
Zorro at all,
you would never teach someone to hit a golf ball like that, but it does.
You said something to me when you gave me a lesson. Like,
take up balls.
I play darts, Gary.
Go play something.
Gary, any chance you can just beat it and just go to the OAPs and play bingo? I sit in my heels a lot, and you told me, can I get my weight forward on my toes a wee touch? But we spoke to pros as well, and they said that YouTube, the detriment side it was is that how you're 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". Your golf swing is entirely different from me at 5'9". I'm never going to be able to swing the same as somebody at 6'2". And you're a lot healthier looking than me, that's for sure.
But it also goes back to the times you see things like Bryson DeChambeau, and even like Bryson has leaned down a bit. He's no longer as bulky as he was.
Man, he can hit it, can't he?
Oh my God, you can definitely thrash a ball.
He came off with rosy colours at the last tournament, didn't he? People loved him.
Yeah. He did.
Even Padraig Hamilton took Harrington took to YouTube to say the PGA Tour's missing him.
Yeah. He has definitely changed. This new version of Bryson is.
And you liked it, didn't you?
I did. I thought it was a nice refreshing.
We did his irons, $3,500.
Oh, these the 3D printing.
Aye.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I go back to Bryson a few years ago and his comments he made at, was it?
The Masters?
The Masters about, I see it as a par
68 or something like that.
He kind of shot himself in the foot.
We shot 81 at Augusta.
Yeah, we did. Right.
We went through every hole and we said, I'd get a 5 there. Yeah, I'd get most of the bogeys, obviously. Yeah. No, I think
I was that 18 or was that
12? First 6.
No, we actually played all 18. We
played 18?
Yeah, we definitely gave ourselves. You didn't 81 and 82.
81. I didn't 81, he didn't 82.
Yeah, and we were like,
golf's easy.
Yeah, take 100. Easy peasy.
Hardest course you've played?
Hardest,
and not just in your head.
And not on PlayStation or YouTube like we just did.
Right. Hardest course, good God.
That's
what I've played it. That's put me on the spot. Used to be an assistant student up at Royal Dornoch.
Oh,
and I tell you what,
when the wind blows.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I've gone from
struggling
to get on that first green in 2. Genuinely, driving a 3-wood, and you struggle to get on in 2.
To drive a 8.
Well, you can get pretty close if you're not one if it's downwind. So I would say that's the toughest.
What
a golf course.
Oh my God. You was a Ewan, the manager, didn't he? Ewan?
Bastard.
Niall?
You're going to ask me what's the hardest course I've played. Every course I've worked on some at a time.
Cobbles just now.
It's Cobbles just now because the rough is like
Mr. NR.
here. The rough is up here just now. It's ridiculous.
That's tough, isn't it? Mark Hall can be, used to be fairly tough in the wind blue.
I think a lot of courses right now are quite tough because of you're getting nothing out of them. You know, you're just, and obviously the way the weather is as well. You're just, it's tough. Courses are struggling just now. They're nowhere near as far on as they should be. But that's no.
Like Andrew said,
it's the weather,
must be, and
you can't control that. You
know, I know you can't say too much, right? But as a general manager, that
Gary,
I like to think. No, I'm not going to put in the spot. I'm not going to. I love him. I love him too much. I think I'm fairly pragmatic when it comes to weather and delays and stuff because I can understand the industry and. At the end of the day, you're away for as much as I love my wife, but you're away for the wife and the kids and your everyday life, and you're away to play golf and you're with your mates and you're just shooting the breeze. But I mean, I even remember a few times at Marhall where it was frost delayed and standing in a bit where it used to be over towards the hotel, the clubhouse, and the moans were just, you were like, you almost felt like saying, can you hear yourself? Can you really hear what you're saying? But the weather just now must be a nightmare for general managers, and never mind that, but more importantly for revenue side of it. Everybody's paid their memberships, you don't get additional revenue, but food and bev might possibly benefit out of poor weather because folk will stay for a cup of tea and a rolling sausage. But best course. Do
you know, I was really lucky a couple of weeks ago. I game at Dunbarney.
I've seen you on LinkedIn.
I must be honest, golf course phenomenal, service unbelievable, staff even better. It was just
David Scott seems to have nailed that. And everybody who goes, who's either in business, obviously I see a lot through LinkedIn and who I talk to on Instagram and who I follow on Instagram, everybody films themselves going in because they're obviously palpably so excited to go and play it. And I've never been up.
No.
I've drove past it a couple of times, but
you haven't stalked them yet? Is that what you're saying?
No, I definitely stalked them. I could show you now. I've stalked them, but that's coming.
You get a nip of whiskey in the first tee.
Do you?
I tell you what, I played brilliant, so that's that's my new pre-show routine.
That's a new answer.
It was like a bottle of water, Andrew. No, I went half a Spey Valley. How did you play?
I was all right.
It was great after the first hole.
What I can remember after 10 whiskies. Wait,
didn't you tell the wife? Did you get a nip of whiskey in the first, the second, the third, the fourth?
Yeah, clearly I'm turning up to the 10th. He was like, I just don't care anymore, So
clubs, what'd you play with?
I've just changed.
Titleist by any chance?
No, I'm on Callaway.
Oh, Apex Pros.
Apex Pros.
You have a lovely brother there with you.
That's what I've got as well.
Mine's don't work, I don't know about yours.
Paradigm. Mine's don't work. Paradigm as well?
Brilliant. Paradigm triple diamond.
I heard a triple diamond?
Nice low spin. Out it comes.
You bullet?
Love it.
Your course promotes that quite well because you're not really you're tree lined, but you're nothing like in the middle of your fairway that you knock a ball over.
I always like to keep the ball out there and hit it quite low, so it just feels nice for me. I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember you smashing your 3-wood a lot at Marhall.
There you go.
You hit that quite low. You still play with a draw?
When I try, yes.
He plays a draw.
I'm trying to change the fade, and to be fair,
who are you, Martin Keimer?
you know how it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to change my.
Yeah, I'm trying to change my swing.
draw.
I'm trying to play with their fade. Just a baby fade.
You can talk to fade, can't you? Talk to draws. That's what it's saying.
You can, you know. And to be fair, I changed an extra stiff shaft this week, and it has made a difference.
I couldn't play a draw if as I said before, if I won the Euro Millions, I'd need to tap you a $5 for a draw. I've had lesson. I've had mates that have walked past us who are pros and went, "How's it going, G? Brilliant. How are you? Great. Oh, you're playing. How are you playing? Nah, I'm all +2 all that nonsense." Still kind of hit a draw. Yeah. Right, come on, get your feet like penguin. But I'm like, okay,
Still
just not makes that fade a slice or a push. I'm just rubbish at golf. There's not much else you can do with it. Callaway, are you using the new Chrome Tour?
No.
I heard that as a belter of a ball, by the way.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
If we had some, maybe we could have tried them out.
There is some on the way.
Is there some on the way? Okay.
There is indeed.
I'm a Pro V man.
You've always been a Pro V guy?
Love Pro V.
Just feels good. Well, I've went from TP5s to Pro Vs this year.
I'm TP5 right now.
Right.
I am TP5. Used to be X, but I don't hit the ball. I've not got that swing speed anymore. Very compressor next.
So I mean, I'm obviously talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about pressures on the golf courses, and a lot of courses are really struggling just now. You know, declining membership, people just not spending the money, the revenue just not coming through the till as well, and as you know, from a pro point of view, and obviously from the club's point of view. And it's going to lead on to another question because I'm going to talk about Grayson Murray. Horrendous thing happened, obviously, and we all play golf because we love it and we play to relax. And here's a guy who was a PGA Tour pro, won this year, but was fighting addiction and clearly had a problem, mental health problem. How does that, and this is a bit of a serious question, and I know it's a bit funny for us guys to ask serious questions, but it's something I'm quite interested in. How does that affect you? And taking away the club side of things, taking away you as an individual, the pressures on you to perform, not just as obviously from the pros' point of view but also from the club's point of view. What kind of pressures are you feeling? And how can the golf in itself help itself? Because it's a guy who's 30 years of age, took his life. It's such a waste. Yeah. But we've also had you've had Dustin Johnson fighting addiction. Yep. And obviously you've got Phil Mickelson, such a famous golfer, has a gambling addiction. And it's a well-known one. Now.
What he did when he went to Live. That's what he paid.
And Live basically went, we'll pay your debts and we'll give you a
what
wage.
I found really bad about that guy was that he played on. I didn't think you'll bring that up there, to be fair, but he played the 16th and went off saying he was ill, and then
the second round said he wasn't playing very well, and then obviously clear he's been home.
And did you see his playing partner's interview?
I don't know, it's horrendous. But this is the thing. Do we recognise?
I don't think you do, because I think I genuinely think most people think the opposite for golf. I think people think golf is the way that. Well, as for me,
you go and relax.
When I in all seriousness, I work really hard through the week on my own job, and then at night I'm researching this and chasing this, and then at the weekend I don't play anywhere near as much as I used to. I was never away. Well, you'll be testament to that. At Marhole, I was there every second day probably. Yeah. Playing golf all the time, and that was my mental health switch off, because I think you're right. I think the pressures of everyday life is huge, absolutely huge,
and we use it as a release.
Aye.
But how did these guys and obviously
you must have some, not that it's like that, but you must have days where you think, oh my God, man, there's so much going on. Like your new remote control lawnmower, that must have leave a wee bit of stress, because you're then looking at depreciating assets, how much the cutting equipment costs, what your new sponsor's going to be. There's Toro, there's John Deere. Yep.
But then looking at the start of the year, thinking, right, what do we need to be to break even? Right. What do we need in terms of membership? What do we need coming through the door, so that at the end of the year we're not turning the key and just saying enough? Yeah.
Just come back to the mental health thing. We've got 19 staff at the club, so
have you got
that? Yeah. So I'm kind of responsible for 19 staff, and actually been thinking about it for a while, and that's probably made me have a wee bit of a rethink, and I probably am going to go and now do a
mental health course.
Yeah, become a mental health first aider, because there's 19 members of staff. Idea. They spend 40 hours a week at the club. We probably see them, to be honest, more than most of our family members do. 100%. Yeah. So we've got a duty of care to the staff, and we've got to make sure that we're looking after people. So that's probably something I'm going to go and do. Is try and do that.
It's a great idea.
That's 3 times I've whacked that table, Louis, so you can kick me in the backside anytime if you like. Right? I won't do that again, right? Promise.
Because I think particularly, and I'm just bringing it back to Scotland, because obviously that's where we're all from. We all play golf here. Scottish people are so bad. Scottish men are so bad.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
How are you getting on? I'm okay.
I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm okay. No, I'm having a really shit time, but I'm not going to tell you I'm having a really shit time. I'm going to tell you I'm okay. And here's a guy that we thought, he's living. We think he's living the dream, because he's playing.
Absolutely, yes.
He's playing on the PGA Tour. He won. Was it the Sony Open this year in Hawaii? So he's now got another exemption. Clearly, money shouldn't have been an issue. But here's a guy who thought the only way for him out was to take his own life, and that's a horrendous. Something we love, and you think, but how can you get yourself in that position? But we don't know the external pressures, and I think there's that much pressure on people to perform, and I mean that in terms of obviously your position as well. That you guys, you've got 19 staff, you're responsible for 19 people. That these guys want to make sure that the club's still there next year. There's been some quite famous fatalities in terms of, if you excuse the word, in terms of golf courses in the last sort of few years. Big names that now no longer exist as a golf course. And I think that's the worry about. There is a declining membership, and where does golf think it fits in, or where does the RNA or the PGA think it fits in to try and?
I think you'll find that the organisations will be really pragmatic towards that. I reckon you'll get full support if you're saying, not just for your committee, obviously, but
I think it's a wake up call.
I think it could be, but I think they're a really modern organisation that will look at like you, Andrew, who are saying about going to a mental health first aid. I think everybody, especially golf courses, because it's a golf podcast, obviously, they should absolutely have at least one representative. Because if you look at the call centre world and you look at recruitment, they're high pressure jobs. They're all going through that mental health first aider.
I'm going to give wasn't intending to do this, but just since we're on the subject, the PGA actually phoned me during COVID. Still a PGA member, obviously, and they phoned during COVID, and it was just a check-up call. How you doing? Is everything okay?
That's brilliant.
We've got free access to some mental health support if we ever need it. And fortunately, I've never needed it, but just the fact that they actually.
Yeah, I've seen your golf game. You've not got that much pressure. You're all right.
Pressure's for tires, Gary.
I don't feel pressure.
Maybe it's good new Apex Pro. You might have some pressure.
Is it the TCBs or is it the?
To be fair, they're a year and a half old now, so it's the older Apex Pro model.
Exact same as
they're
really chrome shiny looking, amazing looking.
They look
shaft.
Much better looking than the new ones.
US 300 or Project X?
No, some Project X. I've got the IO.
Right, very nice.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm flying a wee bit higher, which is right.
So did you go and get fitted?
I did.
Did you go to St Andrews?
I didn't know it was Golf Bunker Studio down in Linwood.
Yeah.
Fantastic, by the way. Great fit. Yeah, really, really good.
Where is this? I've never seen that.
So it's in the industrial estate in Linwood.
Right.
Ian Nicholson used to be the pro at Kilmacombe.
No, Ian Nicholson. Is that who fitted you?
Yeah, that's who fitted me.
Very good.
Fantastic. So.
Because you've been for a wee fitting, haven't you?
I'm going to make it my mission to get fitted off everybody.
Right.
Just so I can make, and then genuinely see this, so I can make a comparison to see what the truths are and what the fairy tales are. So I went to PXG and it absolutely blew my mind. I've had a fitting before and like American golf, if you're going to go, I think I'm quite lucky. Whereas normally, because I'm buying average height, that off the shelf I'm all right. Yep. I'm that smack bang average height, like I just said, but I'm probably half a degree. I used to be half a degree flat. When I was at my fattest, I was 1 degree flat because my belly would drag me down a wee bit, so it was all right. But they added a half inch onto the shaft, so it almost made it upright.
Right.
And the dispersion just went. It was incredible. And that was all TrackMan as well, to be fair. But and then the weight at the bottom of the club and all that. I mean, I should be a PXG ambassador.
You should be.
Because
I'm surprised you're not by now because you talk about them.
I've tried hard enough. I've stalked them hard enough to try and get it. But anyway, no, I thought it was immense, to be fair. And then obviously Mizuno do the wee, I can't remember the name of it. They stick it on the shaft. It's like the swing speed detector or something. I can't remember the name of it. So I'm going to be doing that.
Wilson do an AI fit now. Have you tried that?
No.
Do they?
So they've got an iron. We've got it up at the club. I tried it, 5 swings, and it recommends shaft and all that kind of thing for you. Brilliant. So accurate. Really, really good.
We need to go.
I need to get in. Well, we can absolutely inquire all day long with Alan Tate next week because he's a Wilson ambassador now. He's just been gave Wilson golf clubs, hasn't he? I've never hit a dyno power, but he'll be using, what do they call it? Can't remember what they call their irons. It's no player irons. It's something
they do a staff model.
Staff. That's what it is. Staff model. That's why you're here.
Well, there you go.
So are you a Callaway ambassador then?
No.
You just decided to go to them?
I just think the product's good. Yeah.
I used to love them, but I'm 100%. I want T150s or T100Ss. I hit them and they were just. I used to have Apex Pro.
Yeah.
The older version of yours. Mm-hmm. And then I sold them when I had my knee up. I fell out of love with golf. I didn't play. I genuinely didn't play. And then this calls himself a friend. When we go and play golf, he had his Apex Pros and I had Callaway MBs. My God,
they look lovely.
They are stunning, but my pinky hasn't recovered yet. To be fair,
you've now got rheumatic fingers.
to be fair, I shot 3 under with them.
I know, and claimed that he was.
I hadn't hit a golf ball at least.
That old story.
I can't miss.
Yeah. And an old shitey putter that you didn't like either.
Gary Bartley. So I'm putting his name out there. My brother-in-law, you know Gary, amazing guy. Just I don't know anybody doesn't like him.
Yeah.
But when
apart from you and his putter.
No, I like him. I just hate his putter. When it was his 40th, he went to American Golf and he bought everything Nike because he wanted to be Rory McIlroy. Nike.
Is that a family thing?
But that Covert, I love Rory McIlroy. But that Nike Covert driver, that's the worst driver I've ever hit in my life. But he bought that, the 3-wood, the Rescue, Nike Ford irons, which are decent irons to be fair. And a bit high, I don't know if it's because they're Fords, but I don't know, they're a bit spinny. There's no distance in them whatsoever. Nike wedges and a Nike, almost like the number 7 Odyssey. Almost looks a bit like that fang at the back. It is the lightest, rubbishest putter. I don't care if Nike want to sue me. It is the worst putter I've ever hit in my life. It really is. You shouldn't have brought that up.
That's fine, because that's you in trouble again.
So I do like Callaway's Apex Pros. I think yours are a wee bit hard. I think the new ones, the ones that you both have got, they are almost.
I could do a turn mine down just a wee bit. I think
they're almost blades. What for distance?
No, just turn them in a wee bit. Just maybe just 2 degrees down.
Right,
I think so. Yeah.
Are you getting too fat? Are you?
I think so.
You'll be upright, you know.
I'm 1/2 inch longer, 1 degree upright. Yeah. There you go.
Look at that, Mr. PGA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did
you have a list of things you were going to actually go through? So you actually organised this week?
No.
Because you're never organised. No, I know that.
You need your glasses, Gary?
I'm trying to read that without my glasses.
Put your specs on,
you see that?
Go on then, Gary. What were you going to say? Come on. No. Let's
light it. What
were you going to say? Come on.
So I remember you saying how much you hated the committee.
And cut.
So I'll tell you what I loved about Cameron House, about the Carrick, sorry. I think the Carrick led the way on Beat the Pro. Mm-hmm. Because you could go, what was it?
14.
So you could go and pay your tenner and then get 20 quid for the shop, and it was never a tenner. You put 40 quid down and you wanted to get 80 quid in the shop. Brilliant. How did that make money? Did people just didn't get folk in the shop to spend and hopefully buy something else and add a tenner to it?
Aye. Yeah. It's just, listen, it's about entertainment and it gets people,
it's amazing.
It gets people through the door. It's a talking point as well. You know,
I'm never want him to beat me nearest the pin. So if he's putting 30 quid down, I'm putting 40 quid down, and then I'm going to blow my trumpet the rest of the day. But in a par 3, I'm never winning because I'm crap.
But that's the thing as well. It goes back to that. I think we were talking about, obviously, that sort of tricks that sort of get someone through the door. It's almost like a lost leader. So you just, you know what, you're going to throw 40 quid at it to get them, and they'll come in and go, oh, you know what, I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I'll have that.
Before you know it's 140 quid, you've only got £20 to spend.
Yeah, and everything's recouped back that you've given away.
Is Johnny still there?
Yes.
How long's Johnny been there?
So I worked at Carrick in 2013, and Johnny was my boss down there at that point. So yeah, he's been there.
He's like the Scarlet Pimpernel trying to get a hold of him though.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
I don't know how busy you are, Johnny. I think you're hiding. Well, you're definitely hiding from me, that's for sure.
I'm saying nothing.
Run for the castle.
Yes.
That first hole. How sore is that to walk up that hill?
Tough.
That's a
second's brutal. Heart attack hill, they would call the second.
He used to play Airdrie.
Yeah.
He played Airdrie. Do you know Simon?
Yeah.
Great pro. Yeah. That fifth at Airdrie. What's that called? The Dandy.
Yeah.
And that's Heart Attack Hill as well.
That's Heart Attack Hill.
That's called the Dandy Bray or something. That's horrendous. Marhole's just lovely and flat and nice. Not that I'm a member there anymore before anybody wants to phone in and correct me like they've done. That's quite flat. They were. I'm going to leave that.
It's quite flat, isn't it?
Hardest hole in your course?
Do you know what? Our 17, the par 3 down the hill, right? It looks pretty straightforward. There's a wee burn before the green. It's about 170 yards down the hill, but it's usually in the wind, so that's pretty tough.
I can't remember the last time I played.
Like you try to win Glenveigh, isn't it?
Oh, I don't think I need one there. Is that what you're saying?
Do we the angle of Glenveigh?
What do you? How very dare you?
Absolutely. I thought it was a given.
So did I. I'm trying to remember the last time I played. I remember distinctly it was raining, to be fair. First a par 5.
Mm-hmm. Down the hill.
Then I don't remember what happens after that. I remember that par 3, but I remember a really long par 4 where you've got a burn run across the middle of the fairway and it's all kind of slabbed.
Yeah.
Looks really cool.
Yeah.
I actually hit my ball right on that slab. It came back about 95 yards. And I'm thinking, that's a really long second shot.
I think I'll just give it a miss.
I was playing with a pro. He'll remain nameless. I played with a pro that day. And he was raging.
Right.
I beat him. Raging. No, I'm lying actually. I was raging. He beat me.
Oh, did he?
He did. He beat me. I wasn't a happy camper.
So he wasn't happy. You weren't happy.
No, I'm lying. He was happy. And
okay.
I'm not lying. I was mistaken. He was happy. I blamed that burn.
Did you?
I blamed that for
So that never used to be there. That got put in.
So it couldn't be that long ago then.
I burned it. That's been put in maybe 7-8 years ago, maybe something.
It's definitely around. I reckon it's around 2016. I think 15 maybe.
8 years ago.
So what other activities other than golf are going to the golf club to try and get revenue? Do you do anything?
Mm-hmm.
Are clubs try to promote this?
Yeah.
Or?
I'm a big believer in golf clubs really need to move away from just focusing on golf, right? We've got so many other things that we could be doing. We're pretty lucky up at Hilton. We've got 3 properties, so we rent them out. If you're on, we do. So they were built. The club built them in the 70s for staff accommodation.
Is that the wee cottage on the left hand side?
Yeah. And we rent them out. We've got tenants in there, so that's a nice little income for the club. Don't get me wrong, it takes up quite a wee bit of my time in terms of managing all that, managing the tenants and the repairs and all that kind of thing. But
you need to manage that as well?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So,
did they get their grass cut like the first green? That'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would be really good.
Using the robot.
He's just said it takes up a lot of his time. He just fires that big robot and then it cuts the grass.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of time. Going cups of tea.
To the committee, right? Okay, I spent 8 hours cutting that grass the other day. It's overtime. So what else then? Other than the Trackman studio as well.
Do you know, we're looking at our land, right? So we, one of our past captains done a woodland plantation on some of the land that we've got. So there's some grants going for Scottish Forestry and Scottish Woodlands and all that. So the club got a wee bit of income from that. I think we netted about 25k from that, which for a reasonably small to medium-sized club like us, that's huge. So
how many members have we got?
Believe it or not, we've got just over 1,000.
So I think you're more than a medium-sized club.
That kind of COVID boom, we've kind of held pretty firm on that. We haven't really seen the drop off yet. Like
a lot of clubs have seen massive drops
your age range. Sorry, Mark.
No, I was just going to say a lot of clubs have actually saw a massive drop off from COVID. You know?
I know 2 clubs in particular who through COVID had about 900. Quite a small golf course, about 900, and now they're less than 4.
Jeez, well.
I mean, that's how do you play 600 times 600 quid?
I know it's a lot of money. It's a lot.
Tell you what we have seen. We've got a flexible membership. We've seen a big change.
Is that Monday to Friday?
No, you can play 7 days, but it's a lower upfront membership. It's only 260 odd pounds.
And then you pay direct debit.
You pay a little bit each time.
That's the way every club should be, surely. I'm not saying I'm poor. I'm not saying I'm fairly poor, but I'm not saying I'm poor. But do you know, I think it's quite difficult to ask the normal working guy to rock up and pay you up front 950 quid?
Well, here's one. I've been in golf management since 2017. I'm not a member of a golf club and I haven't been for 6 or 7 years. I don't have the
Get
time.
Free golf at your club,
I know. 2 young kids.
Aye.
You know, family works full time.
Yeah.
Works busy. You know, I couldn't justify 1,100 quid for a full membership. So that sort of membership, that would suit me.
That's a great point. It's actually so, because we've all got external pressures, and you know, and for someone to even just pay 800-900 quid, you're never going to get value for money because you need to play 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Every week.
I was a member at Mar Hall for 7-8 years, and for the offset, I was direct debit. There was a couple of times where I'd moved job or lost job, and it became impossible to keep paying that. So you had to come to an arrangement with the club to say, I can't give you that now. And by luck, obviously, you've got good people there, or you're doing a bit for the club so they can see a benefit of keeping you. But Gary joined, paid up front, and then the next they say, look, I'll just go direct debit. He was a current member, and he said, well, you can't be a member then because we want the cash. They wouldn't let him pay direct debit. And only the and I don't care if Marhol can phone me because it's absolute truth. And then when I said, well, wait a minute, I've been direct debit for the minute I've came here, and then they said, well, you'll not be a member much longer either then because it'll be cash only. And you're like, what? But I'd imagine that's changed now. It's been took over and there'll be different options there available for you.
But I'd like to think so.
I simply could not afford to walk up to a golf club. I don't mind I don't care who knows that. You walk up and go, I want £1,000 of your hard-earned cash. Well, the answer's no. I mean, that's madness.
But I can pay 100 quid a month.
Easy. That's far, but you don't notice that. I mean, in this day and age, that's 2 Chinese and a bottle of wine. That's who done that shit. It should be. Man, there's only 3 hours in the house and we're 40 quid for a Chinese. Anyway, so that flexible membership must be a treat. That would work perfect for me. So the full normal rights on the golf course.
Yeah, so you can play competitions. Yeah, you can't vote, but not a lot of people are bothered about that. But no, you can play all the competitions. You just pay smaller up front, and then there's a sort of.
So is it 2/3 or a third up front or something, and then away you go?
It's about 260, 270 up front, and then your golf midweek after 6 o'clock can be as little as £12 for a game in the summer, which is people just consuming golf in a different way now. Yeah. There's a lot more, you have a Trackman on, there's a lot more golf happening away from golf clubs. I couldn't believe it. I was when I done my research before Mike came on, I was absolutely flabbergasted by how many people are playing more than 30% of their season indoors. Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Because obviously for me, it's getting the ball to head or red raw and no brown, the face, and going outside your pals and talking absolute nonsense, kind of like my day here, and going and playing golf with your mates and chilling out. But when we played the track manager on signing, me and Gary, it was just so much fun. We had an absolute ball. And then only after we became tired did we then start looking at what is the smash factor, how far am I hitting that?
Yeah, because every shot you hit, it's warm. You've got a t-shirt on.
You're lovely.
You can have a beer. You know.
Does it have an effect on that? Or is it just, how does TrackMan work on that side then?
What's that? Sorry.
So I've seen a guy, and I spoke to Mike about this.
You've seen a guy?
The guy with the TrackMan, and he had his
Right.
trolley, and he had his iPad clipped onto his trolley, and he put his wee TrackMan down and hit his shot, and then looked at his iPad and walked away.
Right.
How does TrackMan indoor link to the weather conditions that are outside, and does that affect what the figures are there?
Aye, so you can actually, in the settings, you can set up, your, for example, temperature, right? We all know if you're playing in, 35 degree heat, the ball's going to go a lot further.
Yeah.
So you can preset that in your settings, that the temperature, I think we've got ours set at like 20 degrees or something.
That's
so
class, isn't it?
That's good.
Also, it's a bit tight that they're putting it at 20 degrees. They're not putting the heat on in that.
Clearly not.
-4, you're in Glasgow, pal.
I know. No wonder they're doing okay. Money wise. But that's the thing as well, isn't it? You obviously go and play, it's kind of artificial because you're not exposed to the weather conditions.
No.
You don't throw a wee bit of grass up in the air and go,
No, and
okay,
like
it's a
the
bit
guy
to the
who
left
came to you and says, I think you need to look at that TrackMan. I'll hit my 7-iron 120 yards. That's because you only hit it.
yeah, not because you've got a 410 gale behind you.
What's your best memory in golf?
best memory. Oh my God.
I love throwing questions in. Love it.
Do you know, 18th birthday, I got a game of golf.
You remember that far back?
Well, it was a few years ago. A few follicles ago as well.
I can't say nothing about that. That's why he's got a hat on.
I'm just kidding on, I'm not bald.
Family pitched in and bought me a game of golf at Turnberry. It was my first round there, and believe it or not, it was the McIntyre course back then, right? It was I think it was the 17th. I'm going to say it was a par 3.
Yeah.
And I lucky enough, I got home one.
No way.
Yeah, that was my. It's still probably one of my best.
That's class.
18th. Yeah, it was probably one of my best memories.
That was yours.
In golf?
No, cricket.
My best memory in cricket.
I'm a cricketer podcast.
It's probably actually at Turnberry as well, but it was 1986.
I've never played Turnberry.
No, I wasn't.
I told
playing.
you going well. You two posh
I wasn't playing Turnberry. I was working at it. Okay, and I've told you a story where
You have.
Yeah, and we're walking up the third, and Sevy just hit off, and we were just walking up the sides, just with everybody else, and Sevy walked past me, and I went, "That's Sevy." That's not quite how I said it. I said it was a bit more colourful than
that's
that.
That's effing Sevy.
That's. I went, "Fuck, that's Sevy," and he went, "Yeah, that's me."
Did he?
Yeah, somebody went, and I went,
wow.
And I was obviously totally fanboyed, and because that was my hero.
Oh, hi.
And I just went, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Ballsteros.
I don't even, I'm fine, thanks very much. And that was, to me, was just amazing. They always say never meet your heroes, but that to me was just phenomenal. Jesus. Yeah, that was my best moment. That and obviously watching Tom Watson hit a 7-iron, a ridiculous, more than 120 yards, to be honest. I think it was the 16th. And he was into the winds, and he sort of pulled it. It was just a practice round. It was him and Nicholas. The practice round was him, Nicholas, Norman, and Trevino was the 4-ball.
Oh, Trevino, man.
And so Watson sort of pulled it a wee bit into the left rough. And then the 16th, obviously, it's got the water in front of the green. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah,
well, I can't say it.
He's like, give me a 7-iron. And we'd be like that, he's laying up short. This thing, the sound, we're talking about, obviously the different sound comes off when a pro hits a golf ball. The sound of this thing was ridiculous, and it just
Andrew
took
feels
off.
the same.
I know, this thing took off, went through the back of the green. And we were that was never a 7-iron in its life, but it was just a different shot. And
who's the best player you played with? You don't need to say me. You don't need to. He just brushed by that there. Did you see that?
Years ago, Gary.
Who'd you play with?
Years ago, I was lucky. I got a game of golf with Paul Laurie. It was some competition TaylorMade ran, right? It was when I was an assistant at Ranfurly Castle, right? So TaylorMade done a competition, buy a driver, you get put into a draw, and you win a game with Paul Laurie. It was down at the Carrick, actually.
Wow.
And I'm going to say it was 2009, maybe 2010. And,
was David carrying his caddy then? Was David still carrying, or had he started?
No, so he was just down on his own.
Oh, was he? Okay.
I didn't have a caddy with him. And by the way, as you'd expect, unbelievable guy. What a player.
Really, seems a really nice fella.
First and only time I've ever met or played golf with him, but I can honestly say, what a great guy, man.
Aye.
And for a wee guy like me, that was just amazing.
Wait, how old
experience. 19 maybe something.
My God.
That's good, isn't it? So what's yours? What's your best?
My best memory? I think walking through the clubhouse at Adair Manor and seeing the golf course, as cheesy as that might sound, right? I know that sounds quite bad, but and it's no glamorous, but going through to see Andy McMahon and walking through the clubhouse and getting to see, because I'd never seen a golf course, and said, do you want to see? And I was like, aye. And we kind of, bear in mind I was working in golf at that point, and I was seeing golf courses 3 times a day, but I genuinely felt emotional. And I mean,
is this where you said they opened the big doors? And
people can wind me up.
With the wind moments, I think.
It was worse than that.
Brett Butler.
Aye. They opened the doors and it was a nice day. That really helped, obviously, but the expansion of the course, that's like 150-foot brass teddy bear in front of the castle for the hotel and that, and how just absolutely pristine every single thing was for the golf course. I was like, I've got no idea what that is. Just take 2 minutes just to thank Gavin Gray again for LCL Landscape and Ground Care, and you can contact him at info@lclscotland.co.uk, and if you feel like giving him a wee phone, it's 01698 446 753. And Gav, I can call him Gav, he's my mate. I think I've got your job, so give me a wee knock on LinkedIn, mate. They are Lanarkshires only trading standard approved landscaping contractor, which is a massive thing.
We did say that, yeah, it's a massive thing.
And on top of that, he's now giving you a 5-year warranty on all your projects. That includes decking, fencing, patios, driveways, and your artificial grass. I need you to come and see my artificial grass, actually, because mine's just got a wee bump on it.
Does it do PGA greens?
It does, actually.
Does it?
It does. Look at his website. There is an absolute belter of green on it. I'm trying to get shells into the way I'm thinking at the wee left-hand side. I could have a wee green there, Gav. All right, mate. And for more info, have a wee check at his website and you'll see all the pictures that are carried out there. And there's tons of reviews for his clients. Thank you very much, Gav, again. Mate. Walking out there was unbelievable. And then my very first hole in one at my hall. We played at the 5th, obviously. And it just happened great. It was a brilliant day. The place was absolutely rammed. It was me and Gary, and I can't remember who the third person was. And the group in front were really slow, and they let us play through. So we're standing at the side of the green, and normally I'd be hitting the right-hand side of the green. So they were quite brave, to be fair. And I had it, and then before he even lifted my head, I just said to Gary, I can't hit that any better. And I looked up, and it was a wee bit left of the pin, spun back, dropped in, and he went mental, and I just threw my club. And obviously the 8th, and the 8th tee's next to it, isn't it? 8th green, sorry, is next, and then the 9th tee. Yep. I shouted my head off, and I think it was David Tierney. I'd said, if somebody got a hole in one, and I said, yeah, effing right. But that was probably, but I suppose. So
it was you I got the complaint about for swimming on the golf course?
Quite regularly, probably, Andrew.
He was a run about naked afterwards.
But walking with Rory in that, the Ryder Cup with Gary and Roddy.
Was that good?
Different gravy.
Yeah.
Different gravy. Hearing the conversations we had with his caddy when they're playing the singles match, and I think he was pumping it then, obviously absolutely battered Ricky Fowler. And to be fair, Ricky was built like a side of a 5er and soaking wet into that bargain, and he smashed a drive, and I just looked at Ricky Fowler hitting it, I thought, that's a peach. And then Rory hit it, and you're like, yeah, that's still on the air. Yep, yeah, that's still on there. And they got to their ball, and Ricky said, him and his caddy are chatting away, and he'd said, I'm saying Ricky as if I know him, but Ricky Fowler had said, I hit an 89. So I hit an 89, and right behind the green was a stand, and it was just full of American supporters. And he hit it to about 10 feet, and they went mental. And Rory hit a 52, and he put it to about 12 feet. So he was first to putt, and then he hold the putt. And he just kind of casually walked past, and it was like right. And obviously, I was lucky enough to see Rory because I looked after Hollywood Golf Course, obviously. But he kind of looked past, and I actually felt as if he'd looked at me and told me he loved me. He walked past, he just looked at us, and I nearly passed out. Cause I'd just seen that golf, and I'm thinking, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that can do that. And then he was just immense. Biggest hitter, played with.
Biggest hitter. Do you know what? One of my pals actually played with him a couple of weeks ago, Michael Patterson.
Big
Mike. Yeah. In fact, he works for Trackman.
Yeah, he does, aye.
Yeah. He's just fantastic. Big long levers, just smashes it.
What height is he?
I don't know, Mike's maybe 6'4", 6'5", maybe.
Craigie Bissett.
Yeah.
Jeez. He actually messaged me on Instagram to watch the podcast, and he'd said, when you get a game of golf, and I'd said to him, you can beat it. Honestly, I've never seen him a normal golfer, and Craigie's a brilliant golfer. He's at Glasgow Gales now, I think, isn't he? Yeah. And he was a member at Dumbarton as well. But I mean, I talk about the 15th at Marhall, the par 5. Yeah. I mean, I think I hit driver, and I think it was one of my best I'd ever hit, and I hit a 4-iron, and he hit a drive, and it was a 9. And you're just like,
different game, isn't it?
Isn't it? And he's even his shaft was called the Hulk, Project X the Hulk. I think it was about 8.5 stiff or something. You're like, Jeff Capes couldn't bend it, you know what I mean? You're like, and he hovers his club above the ball. My club, I'd be shaking and all that. I couldn't hit that. It just, Jesus Christ, man. It's bad.
Really bad.
Aye. Best golfer you played with? Who's the best golfer?
Best golfer
You've played with? Normal golfer, as in peak, but normal PGA Pro, no Taylor or that. Don't say Paul Lawrie.
Listen, I'm going to go back to Mike. Mike's good. Mike can play. Doesn't play enough, but he can play.
Best golfer I played with? Probably you.
There you go, Gary.
I nearly fell off my seat there.
Is this scripted?
I nearly fell off my seat there. Thank you very much.
That's okay.
I'm not being narcissistic. I think when I'm on it, I'm only a bad golfer, but I'm way too inconsistent. That's my problem.
I think the thing is, I don't think you do much wrong. That's the thing, and
guys like Andrew, when he was a manager, I would bug your brains. Then I would say, "Well, I think I'm doing this. What did I do to fix that?" And he would just laugh and then tell you like a teeny wee bit, and it would stick in my stupid head, and away I'd go. I think I'm really competitive with myself as well as with anybody else that I play with.
I was going to say, there's not anything I would say you do particularly well. You're not the best driver of a golf ball. You're not the best long iron player, the best wedge player, the best putter. You're just
scramble a score.
You scramble a score, and you just do lots of things quite well. You know,
and everybody said it's quite annoying.
It's not annoying. It's fucking.
How's that wee fat shit?
I think it's one of these things where you walk off at the end and you think, you didn't actually play.
He's under par. How did you do that?
How did you do that?
I sometimes say that as well. How did that go?
Is it because his calculator doesn't work?
Somebody else has got your scorecard obviously, and you're like,
but you do walk off the course and you think, and at times I played with you and I thought, I know you've not played well, and I was like that, but you've scored really well. And
I got away with murder.
Yeah.
See, I was always the opposite. Any time I used to play a wee bit of golf, I had a reasonably nice looking swing and I could hit it.
You've got a lovely swing.
Well, there you go.
You've got a lovely swing.
And I could hit it right, but I could never score.
You've got a lovely swing.
You'd come off and guys would say, God, you looked as though you're playing all right today, Andy. What are you, 67, 68? 75? I'm just like, where'd that come from?
That's really frustrating,
I just could never score.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
put it together.
And I think some of the things where you think you're not doing much wrong, but you're maybe sometimes you're maybe just overclubbing on the green or just missing the green, but you're not chipping and putting. But I'd say,
what's the best part of your game?
I'm good off the tee.
You're good off the tee. I would have said that.
I think the closer I get to the green, probably the worse I get.
See, I think I'm the opposite. I think I'm distinctly average off the tee. I hit fairways or first cuts quite a lot. No, maybe not so much fairways, more first cuts. And I think because when I was a kid, we played off a kind of fairly long grass at a football pitch like everybody else back in the day. We were older than you, Andrew, obviously. So you had to be good with a short iron. You had to be good with your wedge. You were chipping over a school and all that to a wee bit of grass to be your green. So, and Seve was amazing to watch because you're trying. I'm not trying to say I'm Seve, please say that. You're trying to picture, you had to manufacture shots all the time because you were making it with a tin of soup.
And I think that's the thing where a lot of people have lost it nowadays is that
because they all want 20 yards.
Yeah, because they all just want 20, 30 yards. You just want to bomb it out there, and you think, but why don't you think about? Was it Tagala? They're talking about obviously every
Tagala's a brilliant golfer,
but every time every shot he's playing is different because he's thinking about shaping a shot or just.
Is that missing from the modern game, Andrew? That's a great point, Mark.
A lot of the guys you see, it looks very samey. Technically, it's phenomenal, and they're bombing it. As you say, you guys.
There's no individuals anymore, and I think that's maybe where and we've spoken about it before. It's obviously Scotty Scheffler and
I like how he's got one of those perfect grip things during his practice routine. That blows my mind.
But Andrew Sainz is absolutely right. There's a lot of samey golfers, and they all do things very, very similar, and they all sort of hit the same shots, and they all stand the same. And the swings are the same.
I think that's why it's so hard to win in the PGA Tour, isn't it? Because everybody is, like you've just made a great point there, everybody is
good, amazing
on that level. And it's that X a wee bit that separates you.
Yeah, but the individual golfer, there's and I think maybe that's why they're saying that the PGA Tour is struggling just now for numbers, for people just watching. Because the personalities have kind of
left it.
Scotty Scheffler's
they've all went to live.
Scotty Scheffler's a great guy, and by all accounts he's a lovely guy, and obviously Rory's a cracking guy. Hence why the Americans love Rory, because he is a good guy. He's funny, but there's a lot of guys who are just, and this is I'm not decrying any of them, but there's not a huge amount of personality amongst any of them, And
you'd probably pay to watch Tyrrell Hatton mic'd up
Oh,
it's hysterically funny.
That would be Car Crash TV, but it would be
Shane Lowry,
hilarious.
because his hands are just incredible, isn't he? I wonder he's got carbon shafts obviously in his wedges purely because I feel that's just amazing to me. What's the one bit of advice you would give you? Low, no, the three categories. Right. So 0 to 9, 10 to 19, and 20 to 28. But go high handicap first.
High handicap.
What's the one bit of advice you would give them?
Keep it simple and go and get some good advice. You know, it never fails to amaze me the amount of people that go and spend £1,000 on a set of golf clubs
and no spend 35
and no spend 35 quid on a lesson. Right? I'd love somebody to do a study. Maybe they've done it. I've never come across one, but you take 10 or 15 high handicappers, split them, give half of them a new set of clubs, and the rest give put that money towards lessons. And I guarantee you every single time, the ones that get the golf lessons will be better players within 12 months. I
wholeheartedly agree.
So mid guys, what would you give them? Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Play more.
Play more. Go and get a lesson.
It's just all about playing. Yeah, just play more golf and enjoy it.
Yeah. And the low guys, what would you say?
Don't be too hard on yourself. Do you know that there's a great it's on YouTube actually. Sean Foley does a piece where he talks about some of the elite amateurs that he used to coach and how that they had it to say 20 feet and they give themselves a hard time. And actually, if you look at the numbers, that's world class.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy to be down on yourself.
That's a brilliant point, mate. Yeah.
But golf's like that because I think sometimes the better you are, the more frustrating it becomes. Because if you hit a bad shot like that, I know I can hit a good shot.
The day's over. WHS, I won't grill you on WHS because you're a general manager and you've got a job to look after. I'm different. I don't work in golf. I can say what I want. WHS is absolutely made for mid to high handicappers. I genuinely haven't played. I had a wee look. I haven't played a tournament as in a medal, not tournament, a medal. 20 months, maybe more, and my handicap's got better.
Yep.
How in the world is that fair to me as a wee poor guy to go and play golf?
Because they know you.
And they did know when I phoned the RNA, you know that.
When you phone them up and introduce yourself.
I know.
That's like that. Do you know what, Gary?
He did. He said +2.
Yeah, no, +3.
You're nearly +3. What? The Average Golfer on YouTube. Did you watch him?
No.
Great guy, Yorkshire older guy, older than me. I know it's hard to believe, right? Because I'm 2 days older than grass. But he played two 12-hole medals, and he was an 8.9 handicap. What was his handicap? And did he shoot under par for any of those 2 holes? What do you think his handicap was after those 2 medals? Not under par.
Go for it. Go on.
1.6. He's not my lovely guy. To be fair, he's really, really, really good on YouTube. PXG gave him golf clubs. Kaylee gave him golf clubs. So he's getting a lot of stuff. Feel free to give that to us as well, by the way. But he went on a rant, didn't he? He's like, I want an answer. Sorry, Lewis. I want an answer. I want somebody for the RNA or the WHS to phone me and tell me. He said, because I couldn't play. I mean, you watch him, with all due respect to him, he's a great golfer for his handicap. And I mean that with all due respect. I'm not a good golfer for my handicap. He's a really good golfer for his handicap. But he said, I can't play 8.4. How on earth do you expect me to play up a 1.6? Yeah. And I mean, he even showed his scorecard signed by somebody else, and it was over par. And I was like, that blows my mind. So anyway, you're saying low handicappers.
Yep.
What technical advice would it be other than don't be hard on yourself?
Technical advice.
Come and book your TrackMan studio and practice.
No. Honestly, just find a method that you think. Just find a method that you're comfortable with. Right. Don't try and. A lot of people try and copy Tiger or Rory or whatever. It's so honestly, it's so individual.
What's your thoughts? What is your pre-shot routine or your thoughts when you're playing?
I play with feel, so I'm maybe not the best golfer in the world, so clearly I'm probably not the best person to give this advice.
You're a PGA Pro, so
for me it's just all about feel, and I just really try and when I'm warming up before I'll go out, it's a warm up, right? It's literally I'm not worried about the strike. I'm just trying to get loose and get a feel and get into a bit of a rhythm. I'm not trying.
What's a warm up?
And that's we've covered this before. Obviously, many guys.
Shocking. How many guys warm up at your club?
Hardly any. Listen, again, talking about being harsh on yourself. So you jump out the car, 5 minutes before your tee time. You run onto the first tee. You've been working all week. You haven't hit a ball, and then you're upset that you make 6 in the first. Right?
You put a couple of golf balls down, you have a couple of putts, and you go, I'm okay, that's fine. And you're on the
Shake
first
your
tee.
bum.
Yeah.
Stresses away.
Yeah. And that's it. And nobody...
The cars go up that road.
But there's no proper warm-up. And we've spoken about this, and how many times that people took it... I'm not saying took it seriously, because we all take golf seriously, but even just get there 40 minutes before. Even just hit 20 golf balls. Just
Just go
20 wedges.
and jump into the track, man, so you don't hit a couple of wedges.
Why can't you even just do that and just warm up?
I think I would be more... I think I'd be more inclined to do that.
If they had track match,
Because it's stand at a net, if it's pouring the rain or it's really windy, stand at a net and you thinning a golf ball off astrograss is just going to make me hate my golf shot. I'm quite lucky when I was at Mar Hall is that the par fives, I just smash it to the last tree and let it fade back towards the bunker. So, and if it's worse, I end up in the rough near the fence, but at least I've got a shot, so it doesn't really bother me. But like Covels, you stand there and you've got that par 3, 170 odd yards or whatever it is for the back, and you're thinking, Jesus, I've not hit an iron all week.
And you're hitting an iron, and it's a reasonable line.
Hut was a trackman studio. You would jump in there, smash a couple of wedges.
And can you imagine, because off the back tee, I think it's actually close to 200 yards, and you're thinking, this is a hit.
I hit the trees, nearly killed the guys in the second tee.
And Roddy's taking a driver, and you think the pressure on you, because so many things can go wrong. As Roddy says there's much more pressure because you're hitting an iron, and it's obviously just a medium or a long iron, because you could shank it, you could thin it, you could pull it left, you could put it right.
The worst Roddy's got to do is fade it. Yeah. You were the manager at Mar Hall when Roddy and I won the members guest, and we're going to kill us. Roddy was just.
He's won it 2 years.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
By double figures. It was honestly, he's just, see, for a scramble, Roddy he's par threes, you'll always get his shot. You'll always get his shots at par threes. But it's hard to get his drive away. But Roddy is he's just the best scramble partner, because the wand that we talk about I'm going to frame it for him, that we talk about so affectionately. I've never seen anybody hit a rescue like that my entire life. And I think I've played a lot of golf up until the last 2 years. I think I've played with a lot of people, networking events, golf days, worked in golf, medals, team matches, county, all that lovely nonsense. But Roddy hit a rescue and it draws it, he spins it back like 15 feet, and you're like, surely that's impossible, because they're designed to be low spin, aren't they? And you're like, but he's just the best guy playing a scramble. But that guy that's genuinely the truth. That guy who was playing was at the members guest day when he hit his driver at the second to an inch, literally an inch, knocked it in and said, "That's a 1." That guy was raging.
Well, I tell you, I know you guys won it 2 years in a row, right? But I remember at Mar, we done a 4-person Texas Scramble Open.
Love scrambles.
So anybody can enter. Here we go. So I'm doing the cards at the end, and I'm looking at this 4-ball, and I'm going, nah, can't he be right? Can he be right? 4-net 3 in the first. 3-net. No, added up. So they'd won the scramble. Genuinely, they'd won the scramble by like 12 shots, right? So I brought the guy over, had a wee chat. I said, sorry, just want to check your scorecard. And, just 4-net 3 the first. Yeah. The fourth, here's 3-net 2. Yeah, it was into Howling Gale. Yeah. Right,
3-net 2?
What do? You've got to take
it as gospel,
right? So standing up, and I remember doing the prize giving. We'd done it in the wee Morton Hall house over by, and I'm standing up doing the prize giving, and I announced the first prize, and the boos came up for the room. I'll never forget, the guy came up for the prize giving, and he had a backpack on, an Angry Birds backpack, right? And I thought, that's so he can put his prize in there, just run out before he gets lunch.
Angry Birds.
But some of the scores you get, you're just got to take
that must drive you insane, the Buster Keaton that goes on at golf course. I know I'm not asking you to be controversial in that by any ways or means, but I can tell you as a member, a non-member now, but as a normal member at a golf course, I've played with, Mar Hall included, I've played with some people when you the line of sight rule, they've got no idea what that is. The line of sight rule means that they can just move away from that bush and see the green.
Of course. But because I've got line of sight.
Because I can see it now, that's the thing. And you go, no. Line of, you're back that way, pal. Just keep going. What, 20 yards? No, 100 yards. Okay, whatever. And you see, I'm quite brazen when it comes to that. Because you're marking a score and go, that was a 5, and you go, sorry. And they'll say 5, and you say, no, pal, you were 3 after tee, so you didn't hold your second, all right? And they're like, was it not fit? No, it's 7. All right, okay. That'll be 6. No, that'll be 10. You know what I mean? And you look at your card, and they're marking their own score, and they've genuinely got I remember winning a club championship. They've got their own score, And the guy had his score marked at 91 with a 27 handicap. And you're like, mate, you shot 126. And he's like, how? You're like, well, I can't. And I refused to sign his card. Right. I genuinely can't sign that card. Right, I've got enough. We're running right low there. Sorry, Lewis. I will get you. Talk to me about your remote lawnmower.
So, we've got them in demo at the minute. We've got one in demo. A Husqvarna Sciora, by the way. Brilliant. So
it looks to business.
Oh, incredible. So I went to a seminar in February, and I'm a member of the Scottish Golf Club Managers Association, so we've got quite a few seminars, and you go and there's presentations and all that kind of thing, and the team from Husqvarna stood up robotics for golf courses, and I thought, 2 minutes in, I thought, this is unbelievable. So managed to book a demo, right? So they've come along. First week in April, they came to do just a morning for us. So they're going to cut one area, and our golf course was actually closed the day they came, because it had been so wet and the weather was terrible. And he says, no, we'll get the mower on, no problem at all. And they managed to cut that area, and we would never have got a traditional ride-on mower on that. Never in a month of Sundays.
No, without damaging the golf course.
Without damaging the course. So we've actually got it back, and it's there last week and this week. And it's been great. It's been going out at night. It's been cutting our
at night?
Going out at night. Yeah.
I mean, what the name?
So it's all programmed from the laptop. Yeah, it's all, GPS. You map out the area that you want it to. You set the height of cut. You set what pattern. Do you want a diamond? Do you want a stripe or whatever?
No way.
Yeah, you can. I don't have the app. Our Greenkeeper's got the app. But
I wouldn't give you the app either.
Well, there you go. The app on the phone, you can you can sit in the house at night and see where it is on the golf course. And there definitely is 100% is the way that golf's going to go.
So what is a negative impact? Are bigger looking forward to getting that?
So you would think that our guys were a wee bit against it, right? They're a wee bit anxious, but
it doesn't know soil temperatures and how to fix that. So
no, but so that's us had it for 2 weeks, and for the most part, the guys they love it. They love it because we can now look at potentially redeploying those boys rather than sitting on the ride-on mores. We can actually redeploy them, get them to do more skilled labour. Right. Yeah. So we've got a lot more testing to do with it, but it's
so it can cut fairways to normal ride-on lawnmower standard.
Yeah.
And cut first cut.
Yeah. So we're cutting the fairways at 10. There is a machine that will do greens. I think it's a different one. So that's the Sciora that we've got. We're doing fairways at 10 mil.
I suppose the downside must be cost. I suppose these things aren't going to be cheap.
What happens after your demo?
Well, believe it or not,
you sign up for
costs are reasonable, but it's the running cost, right? So you'll actually save.
You charge it?
Yeah. So if we're looking at putting solar panels in the club anyway, right? So if you have solar panels on the roof of your shed, you can actually use them to charge the mower, so it'll be cost neutral.
My God.
And the saving on the maintenance. So we've got some of the machines.
Fortunes.
Thousands of pounds a month for servicing and regrinds. Your traditional mowers that get maybe 2 or 3 regrinds a season. So literally some of the machines are £1,500 a month just on servicing. My God, these robotic mowers are, they're
much cheaper compared to that.
Yeah, absolute pittance. So, and you add in the time saving as well. There's no doubt that in the future that's the way golf clubs are going to go.
So, do you think that hangs the hat on a golf club manager for the course to be in better condition if they can redeploy the greenkeepers in our area and make that cut the grass? Is that controversial asking you that, or
no? Listen, I think it's a great thing. I'm all for,
because we all know that members are perfect at replacing divots and fixing pitch marks, don't we? And making bunkers.
Everybody repairs too.
Jesus, right? We used to fine each other. And I don't want to break away from what you've just said, because I'm really interested in that actually. Yeah. We used to fine each other. We used to put a carrier bag in our golf trolley, and if you didn't fill your carrier bag up, you'd put a £5 on the holiday fund. Right. And if you didn't fix a pitch mark, any other pitch mark that was on your line of your putt, you get fined £1. That's genuinely what we did. That's what paid your golf days. Good. So we were fairly popular members. Anyway, so do you know the cost of the one for cutting the greens, and can it cut the greens to make it 12 in the stint, or does it roll it as well? Because the rolling machine, that's a godsend for low handicappers.
We haven't had a demo of that one yet. It's only the one that the Sciora has.
Andrew is open to that demo happening quite soon, please.
It does semi and it does the fairway, and it'll do aprons as well.
And any pattern you want.
Yeah, you can do diamond.
I got a birdie here. That's what it's in the fairway. If I was in charge, This is never a par 4.
Yeah. No, listen, the machines are good.
I blew my mind.
But all I brought it in, and I said, look, over to you, Stuart, our head man. If you like it, great. If you don't, there's no pressure. But the guys love it. they're really enjoying having it there. And
I suppose sorry, Mark.
No,
I also think they would enjoy doing a bit other things other than cutting grass. Because a greenkeeper, obviously, as normal people think, a greenkeeper just sits there idle on the lawnmower and gets a suntan all summertime, cutting grass and making it look great, and annoying the life that you need to move for him and watch where he goes. But the greenkeepers must love the fact you can go and look at irrigation, look at drainage, look at agronomy.
Well, here's a question for you. So, one person to cut, I speak for Hilton, obviously, one person to cut 18 holes of semi-rough, how long does that take? One person.
I would think that's more than a shift.
It's a day and a half.
I was going to say it's probably 2 days.
Jeez.
Day and a half.
And what does that bad boy do it in?
Well, I think one machine can only do about 4, maybe 5 fairways, so you need to get a few of them.
But what else can a greenkeeper do when that's going and doing that?
So you think of the labour saving,
and
you can...
Sorry, when you go?
You can redeploy them to getting more productive things done in the niceties and really taking the golf course up a notch. That's
less fuel costs, less rental costs, depreciating assets.
Big tick in the box for your environmentally friendly.
How are the GCMA and CMAE thinking about it? Are they talking about it yet? Or?
Yeah, well, it was at SGCMA seminar that I came across it, and I was at Golf Day down in Brassy a few weeks ago, and we were all talking about it at lunch. I think there's quite a few clubs are looking at them. There's a few clubs have taken delivery.
I suppose the biggest worry, obviously, from the greenkeeper's point of view, is to be thinking they put me out of job. But what you're actually doing is actually you're keeping them in a job by making them much
more skilled.
Yeah, more skilled because you know of what skill level do you really have for them to go and cut a fairway or do a first cut?
I think I could do it.
Yeah, but if you get a machine that can do that, and you can use these guys, their skills.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't put the like you're saying. I couldn't put the drainage in properly. I couldn't look at agronomy. I couldn't.
But these guys can.
Oh, yeah, they're clever.
And all of a sudden, the golf course becomes better. It's better prepared. Members are more happy. You know, so there's obviously the uptakes, and people, and obviously that reputation then sort of filters through to other people. Say, by the way, you want to see the condition of the course. Is it? Oh, maybe I'll have a wee look at that next year.
Because David's greenkeeper does a bit of Instagram and highlights on LinkedIn, doesn't he? David at Barassi.
Yeah, Kerr.
Kerr.
I know Kerr. He's great.
He's
guy,
good,
fantastic.
I mean, I know a teeny bit because I worked in the industry. I know a teeny bit because I've heard greenkeepers talking, but when you watch him, he's really engaging as well.
He's brilliant. But do you not think, from a golf club member's point of view, right, that is the way that we need to go? We need to do 100%. More video. We need to engage more with the 100%.
Social media I didn't realise social media because I've not got Facebook or anything like that. The power of social media for us and for what we're trying to do and how successful we want to be on this, and for golf courses and for any industry, it is 100%, especially golf. Because if I don't know, I'm coming to you as a member. I'm chatting with you, don't saying, "Here, Mr. Manager, that's a shithole. I need what's going on with that? How's the bunkers not raked?" You're going to say, obviously, like I would say, that's members that are not doing it. That grass is not cut enough. This is not there. But if you're saying there's a wee nice video and there's a lovely space age looking lawnmower cutting the grass and it's saving the club money and making the cost look amazing, as a member, pardon me, sorry, I don't have any moans then, because if of course it's a better condition, the upkeep's better, the greenkeepers are spending more time making the
you're going to want to come up more, you're going to want to bring up friends more for guests, and all of a sudden you're like, well, come on, I'll bring a couple of mates up. They'll spend money in the bar, spend money in the obviously in the clubhouse and the golf shop. It's got to be a benefit to the club in general, you know. This
I'm aware we're keeping you, we're beyond our time there, so I'm so sorry, Lewis. One thing we would love, you can have a talk to your committee to come down, do a wee bit of, not necessarily get a free game of golf or but come and do a wee bit of filming, drop it onto the podcast with your permission, and we'll also show you what we film on the golf day before it gets dropped into a podcast to promote the golf club.
Are you okay with that? Is that
100%.
right?
Love to have you.
So
yeah, no, thank you so much.
And would you be adverse to coming back on again?
Not at all. No, listen, great fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Yeah,
You're an
thank
absolute
you.
superstar.
All right, appreciate you asking me.
Andrew, thank you very much for coming on.
Matt, thank you.
Gary, once again, it has been
always a pleasure to see you, big man.
Okay.
Always. When you buy my golf clubs.
Okay, guys, thanks very much. We'll see you next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.